even knowing that, yes, there's still a chance they could betray that trust. Because for me, it's better to live and lead in a world where I can trust people than live in a world where I'm isolated in my castle and control everything, but have no ability to really empower others. I remember the day I received a letter from one of my team threatening to sue me. This was from someone I trusted, and it rocked me to my core. And I can tell you 10 other war stories of times people let me down or stab me in the back in business. But the truth is, we all have those war stories as founders and entrepreneurs. The question is, what do we do with them? And for some of us, we get cynical. We get hardened in our heart, and we internalize this belief that we can't trust anyone and that no one will care about our business the way we do. And this path ultimately puts a ceiling on your growth, and it's going to make it so you always feel the weight of the world on your shoulders and that you have to control everything and monitor everything and make sure no one's betraying your trust. And I don't recommend this path. And for some of us, our heart has already been hardened, and we're going to have to do some internal and mental work to get out of that rut if we want to grow to the next level in our leadership and build a team that doesn't depend on us, that we can really trust. But for others of us, what we do instead with those war stories is we learn from them. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from how we could have done better. There were absolutely things that I did wrong and could have done better in that situation. And we take those lessons into the future and we do better, but we still trust people. Even knowing that, yes, there's still a chance they could betray that trust. Because for me, it's better to live and lead in a world where I can trust people than live in a world where I'm isolated in my castle and control everything, but have no ability to really empower others. And so that's my encouragement to you today, is that if you've been burned, if you've gotten hurt, if you've had a bad past employee, you may not even realize the fact that you are operating out of that trauma and it is affecting your ability to trust your team today. So can I encourage you, go back and revisit those experiences and yes, learn from your mistakes. Get better as a leader, get better as an organization, get smarter about how you do things, be more wise in creating an open, transparent, and accountable company. But don't allow that to make it so that you operate out of that trauma and don't trust people anymore, because that will become your lid as a leader. So here are 3 things I'm going to encourage you to do to trust your team without getting burned in the process. The first one is to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. This is a tough one because the reality is if you tend to attract people who are untrustworthy, it shows something about the way you operate and behave. We tend to attract what we are. And so I would encourage you to put some intention to changing your values, your habits, changing what you are putting out into the world on an energetic level. And you'll find that you attract people who are more trustworthy. In Smart Teams, we have a tool we use called the Daily IV that allows you to reset and recalibrate your identity, your vision, and the habits that align with that, allow you to get rid of bad habits and install new, better ones in light of your chosen identity and vision. So like I said, go back and revisit those traumas and those things that maybe happened in the past that are influencing how you lead, but then make a determination that you are going to change who you are, how you lead, and how you act to attract a better quality of person. The second thing I would encourage you to do is cast a bigger vision. Yes, people are ultimately in work for themselves. They're there to make money. They're there to advance their career. But there's something magical that happens when people get swept up in the narrative of a vision and a company where they actually start to operate outside of self-interest only. And you have an ability to control this as an entrepreneurial leader by casting a bigger vision, casting a vision that makes people want to sacrifice and do something bigger than themselves. And one of the best tools you can do for this is clarifying your team IV. That's your team identity and vision. What do you stand for? What are your values? Why do you exist? What do you do best? And where are you headed as an organization? The more you clarify these questions and then communicate them in a compelling way to your team, the more chance you have of them actually operating in a way that's not only self-interested and that can be trusted, not because of you, but because of the vision that you have put in front of them. The third thing I'd encourage you to do is set up smart systems. Yes, we need controls, and everyone does better with a little bit of accountability. So some great things you can do for this is manage metrics, not people. Make sure you have a decision dashboard in place where people in your organization know that we make decisions using data. And if we're not making decisions that align with data, there's probably a suspicious reason for that. And that is not to be trusted. Another thing you can do is just really create an open environment in your organization where it's very transparent what people are doing, what they're working on. It's a great way to do this is by using knowledge bases and good task and project management. Even time tracking can be effective in certain organizations, not because you're trying to micromanage every little thing that people do, but because we want to be transparent, open, and honest as an organization about where we are spending our time. These are some smart systems that we help clients put in place all the time that allow you as a leader to, yes, trust, but also know that you have a system that fosters accountability, transparency, and everyone does a little better with accountability and transparency. Hey, I hope this helps you as a leader get over some of the necessary trauma. It's like the ticket of entry to success is having some bad stuff happen to you. So know that you're not alone in that, but also don't allow that to be the thing that becomes your lid as a leader. Trust and have smart systems. And you can do that by starting by looking in the mirror, casting a bigger vision, and setting up smart systems. I hope this helps you today. And if it does, please make sure to drop a comment. Let us know that it helped you. And would you please help us achieve our mission of setting more founders free to focus on growth by sharing this with someone in your life who needs this? Maybe an entrepreneur who went through a hurt and has having a hard time trusting their team or trusting others. Hopefully this piece of content will help them. And I appreciate you being willing to listen and share it with your network. Have a great day, entrepreneur. We'll see you in our next episode.